Zone 1,
Zone 2,
Zontiga.
welcome back.
welcome back to our channel. Welcome back to another in sessions of Zontiga channel. We are still at Jakarta. We are not due to go back yet. We are not sure when we are going back.
They don't want to go back.
We don't want to go back. Someone here likes bebek so much.
Yeah.
And this morning we just done photo walk with amazing people from Class Pagi, and we are here at Fotkop, which is actually a photo enthusiast space, and
For the
also
community,
for the community, and also a coffee place. If you, for those coffee lovers, you can always come. And actually, the owner of this space is Anton Ismail, which is
Commercial
commercial
photographer
photographer in the
artist as well.
artist as well in Jakarta scene and in the region. So yeah, we have Fadli here, Muhammad Fadli.
Hello.
Which is our special guest today. And today we're going to use the opportunity while we are staying in Jakarta to have a conversation with him. You know, as usual in sessions, you know, we always have guests with us. So Fadli, we both of us known for a number of years. Since zontiga.kl.com.
That was 10 years ago.
Almost. Yeah, that was almost 10 years ago.
2014, I think. That was the first time
and we have a common friend, Andre, who has since moved to California. He's still in California, right?
Yeah.
And so he came to car.com to develop films, and that's how I got to know him. And I know he's the first photographer that I know that actually took portraiture for presidents.
Wow.
If you don't know Fadli. So thanks for having thanks for coming on to
Thank you.
Thanks
as well.
Yeah, I think for our viewers who may not know you, maybe just a quick introductions of yourself, where you're based at, what you do as your main. I mean, of course, you're a photographer, but what kind of projects you do? I know you do work on a lot of assignments and you travel in many places. Just maybe just for our viewers.
Okay. So I'm Muhammad Fadli, and I'm a photographer based in Jakarta, or more precisely in the suburb of Jakarta, Bogor. It's like 40 kilometers from here. And I do mostly documentary stuff, documentary project, documentary photography, and also portrait photography. That's the most that I'm doing these days. And also I do for my work, I do mostly editorial, working for magazine, newspaper, and sometimes I do commercial as well, but not that often. But commercial, corporate, but anything that is related to photography, really. But my own interest is mostly in history, environment, and also about the social issue around. It can be mostly around Indonesia.
Are you attached to a specific agencies, or you basically work?
No. I work as a full-time freelance photographer, so not directly attached to any photo agency or anything, or reps or nothing.
Good. Yeah, so I mean, if you guys look up Muhammad Fadli, if you don't know him, then you will see that he actually photographed portraiture very well, and you know, with the presidents of Indonesia, the current one and the incoming one as well, you know, the recent one with Photobook. So he's like
Accidentally.
He's the go-to person for presidents.
No, I think they just couldn't find anyone.
But you are good. You have to be good, right? So I think it's good to also maybe share with us how you first started as a photographer. How you get into photography? How you get? I mean, were you go into any formal educations on photography, or you just how you started?
I think I formally started when I was at the university, but I think photography already quite an interesting thing to me since I was like, I think elementary school, because when we go like for vacation, like in
school trips.
Yeah, school trips. So I love taking pictures, but I think that probably doesn't count as much. Like
Those are film era. Still.
Film era.
yeah. Just like I like making picture. I realized that this is quite nice. But I think when I was at the university, I started to realize this is something that is I personally really interested in. That was back in I think 2004. So I studied English literature at the time. Back in my hometown in Padang, West Sumatra. So the faculty that I enrolled into, they have this audio-visual studio because at that time a few of the lecturer got some grants from I think that was from Japanese institution at the time to document like old manuscript in West Sumatra, and they bought a few cameras with it, some digital was a new thing at the time. And also some analog, I think that was Nikon F100 or something. And then when sometime I visit the studio, and this is a camera, can I try? And then wow, this is interesting. And then the digital SLR at the time, that was I think that was Canon 300D. I don't know. I think
maybe
yeah. Canon Rebel or something.
Yeah, the entry level
I
DSLR.
tried. The result is very good because I had my own pocket digital camera at the time. I think that was Kodak CX 4030, I think. And the result is just like horrible if you compare to the
professional camera.
professional one. And then it got me really interested into it. And then I started borrowing camera because they don't always use it. So I borrowed the camera. I photograph friends. Sometimes I took it around the university. And then I got really interested into it, and then I bought my own camera, I think 1 year after that. And then I started to take more and more photos, just anything, the one that really interests me at the time that was, I like landscape photography. And then I started learning from the internet as well. I think I probably one among the first, I'm in the generation that start to benefit from the internet because
YouTube learning.
no YouTube. That was 2004, 2005 on YouTube. But there are like photo.net, or in Indonesia there is photographer.net, which is quite big at the time. So we learned by just looking at the forum and know how to use the camera and then what to photograph. That's basically how I started. And then by the time I graduated from the university, that was in 2007, some friends already start knowing me that I can take photos. And
your degree was English literature.
English literature. And then one of my friends at the time, he was a journalist at a local newspaper, and he offered me if I'm interested to take the position as a photojournalist at the papers, and then
everything.
and then after that, everything started.
Wow,
So
fascinating story.
So the time when you got the first proper professional digital camera, what's your age at the time? What year?
2005, I was 21.
Oh, 21, wow.
So you are 21 this year as well. I can see where the question is coming from.
So,
And he's already really good. He's already the master.
No. It's
21. I was starting, and he's already like.
Does your parents support your direction?
My parents always. I think that's. I always feel lucky with, because my parents always support what I'm doing. Whether it's photography. Before I love to draw, and they also support me. But then when I start to do photography, they also really support me. I think it's a little bit impossible for me if I don't get their support.
Monetary important. When going to photography, equipments are.
Because I think quite a lot of parents see like, oh, what are you doing? Like taking photos? You want to do that for your whole life?
No future. You don't earn money.
Now probably it's true, right?
No.
Or there is.
You are already settled. You are okay.
Yeah, okay.
You still have some ways to go.
No. Like he already really good.
But judging from expenses now.
The master.
No. Still far from it. I want to learn from you. I want to be your apprentice.
This is crazy interview.
Can I join your studio?
Yeah. Interesting that you share that, how you. I mean, there's a lot of photographers out there that I know, they don't like really go to school to take up a degree or something in photography. Of course, there are some, but majority that I know are not. It's like accidental, or maybe there's a pure interest in it.
Yeah.
But then was hesitated because of a lot of people kind of like have the perception that photographer cannot make money, and hence to kind of compromise for it, you go to school to learn something else that you are interested, but then you develop and continue to rely on platforms like photo.net and all that to learn your skills and meet people, and that's how a lot of photographers are kind of like grow up. I mean like build their how they develop over time. I think that's a good knowledge for a lot of people, our viewers. This is one good example. This is an upcoming one.
I learned from YouTube as well.
Now
I watch a lot of
it's even easier. Right? Like you can find almost anything on YouTube. Like,
Correct.
That you can learn from.
Yeah.
It's really good. Even I sometimes,
Watch
of course, learn from
YouTube,
YouTube. There's still so many things to learn, I think.
So after so many years of doing photojournalism and editorial, and I mean, of course, you first started in Indonesia, and you started taking more. I mean, photography also brings you to many places.
Yeah.
I know you travel, and you constantly busy, and you also came to Malaysia many times. I've seen. I mean, I think there's more time than you coming to Malaysia than I come to Jakarta.
I think so.
So I think one of the steps. I mean, if you like travels and you like to see things and like to experience different culture, photography is also one profession to allows you to be exposed to those things.
Just that is how to encounter the opportunity. That's the thing. That's the most important part.
You hear? I mean, you need friends in photojournalism if you want to.
How to be a photojournalist?
You need to know people. I mean, knowing people is also always important in any profession.
Yeah,
I think
networking is important.
Networking is important. So that's the professional part. I think you also have some projects that you do on your own because you mentioned your interest is in history, social issues, and I've seen two of your work. One of them is the Rebel Riders.
Yep.
Unfortunately, we don't have a copy here. Tell our viewers a bit about that project, the genesis of it, and what is that project?
Oh yeah, but the project, so far I've done like several projects actually, personal projects, but there are two that were published into a book. The first is Rebel Riders, and the story is about the community of what's the people sometimes call extreme Vespa, because they modify the Vespa.
Vespa is the
scooter.
The scooters.
The Italian scooter, and because it's a big thing in Indonesia, the Vespa community.
All across Indonesia.
All across the archipelago, the Vespa community is really big here. But then there's also the sub community of this greater Vespa community. And then this is the extreme Vespa community. That is something that is really interesting to me, because when I was still studying at the university, there were some friends who loved to modify the Vespa into the extreme form of it. But at that time I was thinking that, this is my friend are just being crazy. But then I started to understand more, because I'm taking photography, and then I started to learn more about the culture itself, and then I started to connect the dots, because when you look at the emergence of the Vespa, extreme Vespa community culture, it was coincide with the change, the political change in Indonesia.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was only possible to modify your ride into something that is something considerably unsafe for the road. That was only after the fall of Suharto back in '98, and after that this community grows and grows, and now it's still very much alive.
Right. From underground until
Yeah. So by the time I think 2016, I enrolled at the master class during the Obscura Photo Festival, and that was the idea that I proposed, because I thought, because the theme for the master class at the time, that was about youth And I was thinking, okay, maybe I
About
should.
you? About
Yeah. Then I start thinking about this one. Okay, I think I can do this one, and then I start to meet the community and to go to some events as well. And then I start joining the community through the Facebook group as well, just to know their schedule or their activities. And then I start doing that. Then after that, I also, in parallel to that, I also did a project about the Banda Islands, which is one of the most important part of the Spice Island, which is the reason why
the Dutch came, or
the Dutch or the Western
the European
colonizer, the
came.
European came to the what they call Far East.
Far
at the
East,
time. Yeah. It's the term is so colonial actually. The term Far East, but because of they're looking for the nutmeg. So I went there because it's something that I keep reading since I was still in junior high school. It's quite intriguing. The question why the European came just for
Spices.
for spices, which is like a little bit ridiculous if you think about it today. And so I started doing that by the end of 2014, and I returned for a few years, and I collaborated with my friend who is a travel writer, and we did the book that is called Banda Journal.
Yeah, this is the book. Yeah.
The book was just published in 2021 because it was initially about to be published a few years before, but we couldn't get the sponsor.
Yeah.
So in the end, we have
sponsor. I mean, like financier.
yeah, because making book is expensive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Uh,
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, this book is also got the winner for Aperture Design, right?
Aperture Book of the Year.
Yeah, Aperture
2021.
Yeah.
To be
Yeah,
exact.
It's a
yeah.
very amazing achievement.
Yeah, it's a little bit surprising actually, because we didn't really expect. And my friend, the designer, it was Jordan, who decided to send the book to submit this for.
Oh, so it was his idea.
Yeah, for the Photobook award, because
To
I
submit.
maybe I think it's a little bit impossible to even to get nominated for the award. But then it got nominated for the award, and then it won the award in the end. Like,
So because
This book is available in Zontiga. Was available, was sold out, and it's soon going to be available again in
and
Zontiga.
it's not expensive.
It's not expensive also. I personally kept a
design is
copy,
very interesting.
and it's easy reading. It's interesting stories. I mean, Malaysia,
Yes,
where
yes,
we
yes,
come
yes.
from, it's also colonial.
And I think
the
some part
Western-
of Malaysia also really connected to
Correct,
Banda Island,
so
because Banda Island it was famous for its nutmeg, because it used to be the only place where the nutmeg grows in the world.
Yeah.
And nutmeg is very important. It was deemed very important because of its properties that can heal the plague at the time.
Yeah.
So I think by the end of the 17th century, the nutmeg seedling was transplanted out of Banda Island, one of it.
One of the places where they can find.
in Malaysia, which is Penang. And
Yeah,
you still
yeah.
can find nutmeg trees
Yeah.
in Penang, and it originated from Banda Island.
So I mean,
So
I was like practically I bought the book. I know it won the award. I was flipping it and I couldn't stop. I spent one afternoon finish the book.
wow.
Yeah, it's
And,
quite an easy reading. I think it's
easy reading.
for
Yeah.
14,000 words in total, but
And
the
I-
way it's written, I think.
Yeah.
So it's more like a travel journal, just like the title.
Yeah, I felt connected also. What do you say? Part of our Southeast Asian colonial history.
Yeah. Because I think I think quite a lot of part of Southeast Asia was actually, it's probably let's say if we take Indonesia as an example. Indonesia is like what really united Indonesia in the first place. So many islands was because of colonialism in the first place.
Yeah.
And then how could people from Sumatra, Java, Borneo, and Sulawesi and Papua. Papua wasn't part of the first when Indonesia declared their independence. It was still under Dutch administration, but you can say that for the whole part. most of Southeast Asia. It was there because of colonial project. Actually.
Inspiring. I mean, two
And
great
to look
books.
at it is like, yeah.
Two good books. This is the Bandai Journal, and then the other book, the other project of his is Rebel Riders, which is actually we have one copy in our KL.
Oh, you still have one?
Yeah,
we still have one.
I actually want to buy.
in our PJ store, Zontiga PJ store, and when you
The
talk
first one
about
up.
when you talk about when you talk about Vespa modifications, Malaysian also modify our cars and all that, but these modifications is it's the extreme. It's
the next level.
It's the next level. So come over to Zontiga and
To browse the book,
browse the book. It's interesting.
But is they modified the bikes? Is it illegal in?
I mean, like by law, it's illegal, but then at the same time, the
culture is-
thing about in Indonesia, you have many sets of rules, just the same like everywhere, like in Malaysia, like Singapore. But most of the rules are rarely enforced. So that's makes a lot of possibilities actually.
And
So you can go through the traffic light in the open and you will.
Just like Malaysia
you won't
as
get
well.
any ticket. Don't try that in Malaysia or in Singapore.
Law is there, enforcement is not there.
To photograph
Law is very laid back, and I think somehow the good side of it accommodates creativity, which I think that's what happened in River Riders, because there are quite a lot of freedom to do things.
So you have the professional job, I mean the assignments and all that, and also you have your personal projects, and that what you mentioned, just two of them, and you also have a few others. How do you usually manage your time?
I think to have a personal project for any photographer is very important, and it's healthier like that, right? And apart from just working for assignments or doing commercial stuff, because it can be very draining. Even though I really enjoy a lot of editorial project that I do for magazine, for newspaper, a lot of because we are covering a lot of really important story that I personally really interested into. But at the same time, because you work for this publication, magazine, newspaper, or whatever it is, or online publication, there's always like a set of rules or more likely brief from the editor. So you have there's still creative freedom in it, but you still have
there's
this,
a box.
there's always a box that you can go out of that, and usually time is the limitation as well. You get like 3 days. I mean, like I think gone are the days where a photographer get like 1 or 2 months assignment, but now it's mostly like 3 days, 1 week maximum. So the limitation, and you want more, right, for yourself. So I think you can pursue that on your personal project, and I think it's very important because personal project is where you can do a lot of error, a lot of trial by yourself, and see what works without anyone else will. Okay, I will not assign this guy anymore. This guy takes the photos. It's not working.
You can be experimental.
We're gonna look for another photographer next time. In personal project, that didn't happen because you will be the one who will, maybe I have enough, maybe not. I will look for something more after this, and you can refine. So this is not working. Next time I'm gonna try a different route. You can do that in your personal project, and then it also help you to mature your vision, your technicalities or whatever else. I think it is very important.
Great advice.
So, is there any photo that you took that changed your photography journey, or is there any opportunity that changed your photography journey?
What was that?
Like a trigger, like
a tipping point.
Yeah, a tipping point. In your career, like something. I mean, that tipping point just happened and everything just become.
Maybe he photographed the president.
No, not really when photographing the president. But I think one that I still can remember was when I was visiting the Balkans back in 2015.
That's very remote, Balkan Sea, right?
It was yeah. I was visiting both Macedonia and Serbia at the time. That was I was initially about to go to revisit Bosnia, because I was there before 2 years prior to that, and I really liked Bosnia. But at the time in 2015, there was this refugee crisis, and then I went with a few friends to cover that, and I think it changed the way I look at things, because I still very much doing more traditional documentary at the time. And then I think there's something that is you can say the trigger, because what
The switch,
we did,
boom.
because what we did there, we just go there and photograph without knowing anyone. You never really ask, you just take photos of people, and too much assumption at the same time, and I think it's not the right thing to do. Like, it's a little bit like exploiting the refugee war. They suffer a lot of things. You just go there and go on almost like a parade with other photographer following the refugee.
Then connection is not there. It's just
There's no connection.
very machinery.
So you have to get their trust.
Yeah, not only trust, but I think it's also sometimes this kind of photography can be a little bit dehumanizing by its own way. So it got me thinking, like, oh, I think it shouldn't be like that. I think that was back in 2015. And I think after that I started to change my approach gradually. I think I tried to treat the personal project, especially when I photograph people, more like as a collaboration, especially like portrait. Try to respect the people in the photograph as much as possible, because I think it's really important. I mean, like, you can just imagine if you're being
Put yourself on their side.
on the other side, and your people will already suffer so much, and then suddenly a group of photographers come at your face and take your photograph. How does that feel? So
Right. Well, I think many questions. I mean, he is a role model that you can follow if you are interested.
What Edmond is doing is different also. It's the street, so it's. I think it's a little bit different if you compare to that.
So in Rebel Riders, how you get to know to the communities and how you get their trust, because I think they have to trust you to let them photograph closer, right?
Yeah.
Especially when it's illegal, right? Supposedly illegal.
Well, I mean, like, they're not really afraid of that being illegal, because the law is very
loose.
very loose. So it's not a concern at the time. So, but at first I just visited the community. They have an event in the western part of Jakarta. I visited them and I started to know some of them. And after that, like I told you, how the internet helped me. I joined the Facebook group and I send message or reply to their posts. Where is it? And then I also track some of the member on Instagram, because people are on Instagram, and then I just let them know, because I'm doing this project and I'm interested to meet you, and then maybe if you're okay, I would like to make your portrait, and they are very, very welcoming. So that's I mean, like, the process of meeting the community member was fairly easy, actually. But the one that is not easy, because the Indonesia is so big, and sometimes they would have an event like in Central Java or in Sumatra. So I just decided to travel there.
Where is the most? I mean, not just for Rebel Riders project, but it brings you to many places. Where is the most furthest away and the most challenging conditions that you ever been in?
No, the most challenging. That's I think.
Not necessarily like hard to shoot, but condition-wise, is super hostile in terms of, or dangerous or hostile, or really weather-wise. It's
Wow, very hot. Oh.
I think
that's like
the remote part of Borneo, but I mean like maybe, but then not that extreme. I think at some point, I mean like you start to just like not that extreme actually. If you imagine like if you go there, but people already live there for so many years, and they can survive that. And I mean like we as a human being designed to withstand a lot of extreme situation actually. Sometimes we just never try. So when you really try, it's not that extreme, I think. So I cannot really say any part of it that is so extreme. I've never been in the war, so that one may be a little bit more extreme because of the risk of getting shot or getting bombed. But there's nothing like that. I mean, like maybe when I do the investigation about the mining, sometimes you get stopped by the security, you get asked, or by some military intelligence, sometimes you get asked as well, but that was it. I never get detained or so nothing really extreme that I ever experienced personally.
That's a good piece of insight. Never afraid because humans are designed or born to adapt.
Because you
Thought of the day.
sometimes people like to, I don't know, I feel like people like to romanticize sometimes. Wow, we went to this remote area, the places are so extreme, but then people already live there for centuries. For centuries, and they already survived that situation. And this photographer also survived that, so it's quite, maybe, the war probably, that's
the war is a very different story.
An extreme example, but I never been in any real conflict situation, so I couldn't say anything about it.
Right.
So, what if I want to be a documentary photographer one day? What is the most important skill set I will need?
I don't know, for me, I think the most important respect to the people that you would like to photograph. I mean, like that's really important, I think. Respect is the most important thing.
Learn to respect people.
And your empathy as a human being. I think that's. I think I still recall a piece of advice from an Indonesian very famous street photographer, Eric Prasetya. I think in one video he said that, if I still can recall correctly, to be a good photographer, you have to be a good human being first. I think that's really
that's what he said.
That's really an essence.
Indonesian street photographer.
Yeah. He is really good. I think he's one of the very best that, and he's still making works, which I think consistently making works, because I think Eric is already more than 60 now. Not many photographer that I know more than 60 years old and still actively working, still actively pursuing his own project and his own vision. And he told that to be a good photographer, you need to be a good human being. That's really good. I think that's a really good piece of advice.
Your heart must be at the right place.
Yeah. I think it's really important. If somebody you like to photograph them, if they don't want to be photographed, you have to respect them. Because there is another thing that is more important than just photography.
All right, I think that's very good insight.
One last question for our audience. I think that every photographer loves cameras. I love cameras. So, Fadli, what camera do you use for our audience?
Well, okay, I use many type of camera for sometimes. I think it's depend very much on the project. If and now if I'm doing the assignment, it's also very much depend on the assignment itself. for some project I use like film medium format film camera, like for this one.
I think Rebel Riders has some film one, right?
Rubber I use like 6x6 Hasselblad.
Yeah, I remember you shared with me that some of them are actually developed in reverse.
Yeah, that one 6x7, but then I crop, I think just like 3 frames in the final book. But this one purely with this one with Mamiya 7, and then also just like the still frame of some objects that was I used like Hasselblad square format. And then for now I also use for assignments I use medium format digital, and sometimes I use full frame digital camera because for editorial work, quite a lot of publication they ask you to take video as well for the online publication. You know, the interactive website, they need video sometimes, so I use a camera that is capable of both, you know, hybrid, like both photo and video at the same time. So yeah, for that purpose I use full frame digital as well. So yeah, for snapshot sometimes I use like different camera as well, and phone cameras too. Yeah.
Whatever that is most suitable for the best, the right tool for the right
Job.
Right tool for the right job. I think that's really important.
Well, I think that's all. Thanks for coming on to our in sessions. Very insightful for him. Very kind and generous of you to share your experience.
Thank you as well.
Yeah, yeah. Before, you want to ask something?
I thought you want to talk
Oh yeah. Yes. This is
Fotkop.
what we like. These are our publications.
Yeah.
Our viewers would probably.
I look at that as well when I was at KL.
Yeah. So just wanted your opinion. Just.
I mean, like, this is something that not really done, right? I mean, like professionally, like.
It's a first issue.
Yeah, this is the first issue, and we're gonna.
We have
publish more.
We are going to publish
Second
more.
one.
The idea, the genesis of this is we wanted to have a platform to allow people to having a book in mind, having also to showcase the Southeast Asian photographers' work.
Yeah.
So we thought if we could get printed format out there, and then every issues we decide on a theme, and we hire the professionals to based on the teams to select the photograph, and of course whatever that comes into the book, a lot depends on the quality or the book, the whatever submissions that we get. So this is the best out of the 700 odd pictures that we have received from about 100 photographers or visual artists around Southeast Asia, some from Indonesia, some from Singapore, some from as far as actually Timor-Leste. Also have photographers who submitted.
From Timor-Leste.
Yeah, Timor-Leste. So we have 100 plus submissions, about 700 photos that were submitted. And based on the themes, edited, so we give a free hand for the editors to do, including the theme as well. So the theme actually suggested by the editor, and from there he did the editing and sequencing, and this is the first one, and we like to hear feedback. Of course, we're already in doing our second issues already, but of course we want to do it one better than the other one and continually improve it. The format right now is like that, but it may change in the future. But yeah, this one will get your feedback.
I think it's I don't know, like feedback. I think this is the one that is we are in Southeast Asia quite lack of. I mean, like publication for. I mean, like people are always like thinking of like books, but publication like this is also very important.
It's quite like
and a lot of when I first look at it when I was in KL and you show me, it's quite a discovery to see some work of photographer that I never heard their name before, because many people take photos these days, right? But most of them they never really print
and show their work.
And show their work, not even on social media sometimes. But I think it's really nice to have this kind of publication, which I think I'm really looking for the second edition. And yeah, this is one of my
favorite.
one of my favorite work in this book because look at the emotion of the picture. Just like very simple picture, but I think the emotion it's the picture that you can feel by yourself, like, and you will never know these photos. I never saw that on Instagram, something like that, and there are more photos like that in this book. So I think this is something that is. I think I'd like to see more of this kind of publication, not only from Zontiga, but I mean, like, if any other publishing house or maybe any other collective. I think there is one in Jogja that is actively doing this as well. Like if you know, Sokong Publish.
Sokong, I know.
Yeah. They're doing really, really great. I think focusing quite a lot on emerging photographers or artists, which otherwise they probably won't be able to make a book for maybe for financial reason or for other reason, but they made that possible, and there should be more of this kind of initiative.
So we will continue.
I really looking
Thanks for
forward
the
for that.
encouragement. So we are working on the version number 2.
I still remember that.
And
the picture.
So that's about it.
That's about it.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Thank you.
And if you and the Banda Journal and Rebel Riders is available to purchase at Zontiga, and if you want to purchase online, you can visit.
And it's not expensive.
zontiga.kl.
he said it many times. It's not expensive.
I need to stress it again.
And Tiga Mata is also available at Zontiga.
And also not expensive.
Also not expensive. Issue number 2 is coming.
Issue number 2 is coming, yes.
Which is also not expensive.
Not expensive. I guarantee you it's also as good as this, if not better.
Yeah. And if you shoot film, and if you are coming to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia one day, and if you shoot film, do process your film with us, because Fadli also process his film.
Okay.
You can see the scan Rebel Riders. Show the photos.
Can I get like 10 rolls free?
You can ask us a lot. So, thanks for watching, guys.
Okay, thank you.
Zone 2.
Zontiga.
Zontiga.
And Zone now.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay.
Okay.